Ah, a winter wonderland. Crackling fireplaces, crystal-covered tree branches, and kids going door to door caroling. These are some of the first things that come to mind when winter is mentioned. That is, unless you actually live in a part of the world that sees snowfall, in which case you probably can't help but think of something just a little bit different, such as, oh, I don't know, gripping your steering wheel with white knuckles, more frozen by fear than the cold? Or how about being focused solely on getting to work in one piece while getting sprayed with sticky, dirty snow every time a plow truck passes you by? Yeah, there's no denying the realities of living in the snow belt, but there's one thing that most northerners tend to overlook, and that's the effect snow, salt, mud, broken asphalt, and even spitting gravel can have on your vehicle over time. So stick with us, because in this video, we're going to quickly go over 3 things that driving in the snow can do to your car that can cause you to get into a random and potentially fatal accident even on a sunny day. Here goes nothing. Coming in at number 3 on our list. Rust. Now I know what you might be thinking. Duh, we know what rust is. And sure, that's true, we're all pretty familiar with it, but how often do we really take a moment to break it down and consider just how dangerous it can be? I mean, let's keep it real. Rust basically causes the strongest metals in the world to completely break down in the presence of one of the world's most common substances, water. Let's let that point marinate while we consider something else, that human beings have made transportation a routine part of everyday life. This means that we find it completely normal to send ourselves hurtling across the ground at 100 feet a second, riding inside a contraption made up of thousands of pounds of, yep, you guessed it, the metals we just got done talking about. Snow is water, and our cars are susceptible to rust damage. In fact, our car's entire structure sits atop a frame that can become rusted, and the way this frame connects to the rest of the car can be severely compromised by rusted-out connections. And think about your car's drive system and suspension. Hundreds of tiny metal pieces that rely on one another, most of them at risk of becoming rusted out. And how often do you really crawl underneath your car with a flashlight to inspect these parts and assess their condition? Needless to say, even at moderate speeds, a major failure in your vehicle's suspension or frame can lead to catastrophic consequences for you, your passengers, and even other drivers. And if you think that's bad, brace yourself as we move on to number 2 on our list, the brakes.